That is going to be good. Right, where was our front looking through there? Up through there, up through there. Bar branching on both sides. Lovely little branch there, lovely branch there. This, I really don't think we're going to need it. Now you've done sort of a nice job, we can position those. What's that? And that one's there. We missed, that was one I wanted wiring as well. I'll bring that down to settle in there. Yeah, oh no, you've got it in there, okay. There it is. Put a bit more of a, we'll go back that way, back that way, zag it back that way, zig it that way. A bit more in that one, we'll bring it round to the back a little bit more. Into there, really trying to keep this one flat. That one I just want to squeeze in a little in through there. That can now come down over there. Good size wiring. Bend it, it goes straight to where you want to do it. It's not bouncing around anywhere, especially these that are really quite springy as well. That comes up, back through there. I'm going to wire that one. A little bit of 1 mil wire out on that, please. Yep. That can come down to there. I was at the penjing conference at Canberra last year at the Arboretum. Had one of the guys from China who was actually just using normal wire cutters, but had it on video because he'd pull them out of his pocket. It was like a gunslinger. He'd pull out, back in there again. And we looked at them, they're just normal wire cutters. We've just been doing it heaps and that. We just spun these around, so I videoed it, but I videoed it in slow-mo, and you watch him, he's making it. He's really stylish. He just had the moves, you know. Some people just got it. I tried it, I hadn't got it. But it was really nice how this guy did it. And one was at the convention last year here. Maybe you'd know the guy, because we're all talking about it. Wow, look at this guy with his wire cutters. It's just really smooth. And he knew it was really smooth too, yeah. So I thought it was nice. Yep. I think that's history.
Yeah, gone.
Gone, yep. We're not even going to gin it, because we've got this nice little branch on the other side that sits nicely for us as well. This goes down to here. Okay. So we're just going to take it through here. So it's just a little branch going that way, so it's just not so significant. And then it's all sort of coming together. Then I'll come back and shorten a few of these down and do a little bit of positioning. But we're really starting to shape up a little sort of tree. We still haven't got a exact front on it yet. We're almost at the exact front, but we're still in somewhere in that sort of neck of the woods with it as well. You reckon you're fully wired over there? We've got 2 branches next to each other. Which one are we going to take off? You think about it. You work it through. Okay. Oh, lovely. This is the tree that's really doing it for me. Now I can get through it and do some sort of placement for us as well. So we had this here. Now we'll drop it back down again, because they just sort of get moved around a little bit when you're sort of wiring a tree. You've just got the right size wire. It's just, see how it's just really springing at that point there. So again, don't be afraid to go too big. So we're just going to get everything happening all at the right point in one go as well. We're on to the camera through here, I've got to remember as well. So this one's just really sort of a bit springy. It's doing this one nice, but the rest of it's just a little bit springy. But we'll get away with it. I'll just shorten this down a bit. So I've got this little pad evolving down the bottom here. Still not quite right with our movement. I just want to put more of a kink in it through there. Come on, round you go, you little puppy. It'll be worthwhile, don't worry. Someone's going to give you a nice little feed pretty soon. How are we going? There. This one is giving us a little bit of depth. That one again as well is just getting there. I'll hold it in place. And I'll go, when the wire is really sort of not quite big enough, it's springing back, take it a lot far further past where you want to, and then just let it spring back and sit to where you want to. So that's now going to sit where I want. I'll just trim all this stuff further down off it for you. These wouldn't really need a fertilise straight away. We've done all this work for them. They'll tend to sort of sit for about 4 weeks before they're really sort of saying, what happened? But also, when they do start to take up nutrient again as well, there's not as much on the tree. So they've got this stored nutrient up, sitting in the tree, and then it's going to go into here. So I wouldn't even think about sort of fertilising for, generally about 2 months. Just let them sit, let them have a think about themselves, let them start flowing again, and when they're going to take up the nutrient, then they're going to grow as well. So that's now sitting in there. So again, we've brought this down, but we've thinned it all out with our gins to hide our little sort of fault in here, but you can see the fault, but you're not necessarily looking at it so much because we've got the gins that are going on in here as well, but also got this little branch that's sitting in here to help position and hide it as well. I'll just bring it up slightly. Now I'll work up this high branch. This one down here is just a lovely little branch down there because it's just such a nice branch. I didn't want to remove it. This is our big, long back branch that can actually now come back here to give us some depth into the tree. And that wire is just starting to spring a little. It's not going straight away like some of the ones I was doing over here with Luke. I was putting it there, boom, and it stayed there. But see, I'm letting that, it's just still springing it a little bit. So it's just that importance of going bigger on your wire, if you're not sure, to get it to sit there. And as time comes along with more sort of wiring practice, you'll get more confidence in your wire, but always just go bigger. Trim these out here, so it just keeps springing up on us, but I'll position it, it'll be fine. Now I'm going to trim it back into there, because I could actually do 2 pads in there, but I won't, I'll make it as one. There. Just to give us a bit of volume for here. Sit that there. Back. Now, this will come down through here. This is all very Chinese, very big, long drop branches to it. We're really trying to emphasise age into this tree. And a lot less foliage. Remember, this tree's sort of thinning on top. It's already thinned on top a rather bit, but same with these other branches have thinned on top as well. Other times you may have a big branching and create 2 or 3 pads within the one branch as well to sort of turn a bonsai into something a little bit more penjing. So you can turn bonsai into penjing, but you can't turn penjing into bonsai because you've thinned out too much as well. You've got to grow it all back again. It's not, you don't, so you can go that way as well. So thinning through there. Which one of those branches you're going to cut off, Michael? You made a decision? Top one or the bottom one?
Out of these 2?
Yeah.
Top one.
Top one? Yeah. Do I let you cut it off or do I come and have a look? Are you going to bid on that tree? Or yeah. I won't stretch. That's all. I'll come and have a look. Just let me pick and see if I've picked the right branch. You test me. Again, drop branch. Now, it's almost getting there. Sit. There's a little pad. The branch as well. That in there. Okay, I'm going to go look at what Michael's going to test me on down the bottom there. What I want you to do. So I'm just going to sit that under there. These are my pads on the end. This is going to be a pad on the end, so I'm going to strip all those off as well. This is my pad here, so I can cut all those off from there as well. Wire that branch for me.
That one?
That one. And you can wire that little one for me.
Yep.
I wonder if it's pretty good. But you just clear the lines of these ones for me. Here you go. Okay, boss, what's my test? Which one of these? We've got these couple of little branches up the top here. We've got 2 in one area, but we've got to eliminate 1 as well. Where's our sort of front of the trees in through here? So we've got back branch, front branch coming towards us, a couple of nice graceful ones here. I could do something. Apex here, but that's not the apex. Apex of the tree is this whole area of the tree. It comes up, people sort of think just that little pot's the apex. Not. The apex is consistent of these. We have a bit of a higher point in the apex, but this is the whole apex. So of these 2 branches, I'd be keeping the one at the top just to try and fill up the apex that little bit more. because if I take that one off, it's going to make the apex a bit smaller. It's really, either way, you can sort of take two of them, isn't it? It's a real test. So we can make the apex smaller of the tree, we can keep the bottom one. But which is the front of the tree? We've been working that as the front of the tree through here, the front of the tree. But as the tree is sort of starting to shape up a little bit more, you know, you can quite easily have that sort of as the front of the tree if we stood the apex up a little bit. I'm still preferring this, but it's nice to have the back of the tree. It's not necessarily the front of the tree, but it's still interesting enough that you want to look at the back of the tree as well, rather than some trees say, there's the front, don't look at the back's terrible, there's nothing at the back. If you can have something where you can look at the back of the tree, it's still pretty interesting at the back of the tree. That's where you're sort of trying to get a 360-degree dimension to the tree. So we'll make the tree a bit taller by taking the top one off. Mm-hmm. And this is actually going to give us a branch. We can bend it round to the back just a little bit as well. Is that what were you thinking there, or it was a real tough one, wasn't it? Yeah, you could go 50-50. This, if I turn this into a little branch, heading back into the little gap between here, that will make the tree taller, because now the apex is more just this area rather than this whole area of the tree. So we're elongating the top of the tree up a little bit as well. So that's coming down through there. This little gin's really nice how it tucks in around there. We can go through and spend time tidying up the gins with, you know, knob cutters and carving it up. That's for another 3-hour session of talking about gins as well. We're trying to sort of thin it out a little bit there and leave sort of foliage on the tree as well. But that's looking good in there. That one up there just needs, I keep going, I want to spin, I can do it with my secateurs in the gardening. I can roll my Falco number 2s around my finger, but I've been doing that for 40 years. I've been doing this for 30 years. Well, I only saw it last year and it was pretty cool, but maybe I might get there in another 30 years of doing this. So yeah, I should be all right in 30 years. People love listening to old bonsai artists and horticulturists as well. So I'll be in, Peter Cundall's only just retired and he's 90. So that gives me 35 years at this side of it as well. So it just means I'm off the garden tools. Because if I want to dig a hole, I've normally got sort of 10 or 15 students to dig a hole for me now. So I can just talk more. And I don't mind having a bit of a chat. I'm good for a talk and a chat. This bar branch, this one annoys me. So now we've got this one worked so small, I think we'll just make that one a little bit smaller as well. A little more subtle. And just thin it a bit, just so it's... That's just looking a little bit better. Geez, it is nice and sharp. That's working there. 2 down here. Don't need 2 of them. That's a bit too close to that branch, so we'll keep the bottom one in there as well. So it's not one gin, we've only got the 3, so it's just a subtle little of interesting gins as well. I want you, with some knob cutters, to sort of try and take that knob all the way out of there. And then you can get to a stage you can almost start to think what you're going to have with your ice. How's it happening back here, mister? That one wide?
That one?
Yeah, we wire that one. And we're almost there. That. And we're almost there. Okay. Yeah. I can work with that. That'll do. Okay, we'll just do a little bit more.
Do you treat the gins with anything?
Not now, because if you put lime sulphur or Indian ink or something on them now, they're still alive. They're going to suck that in and it'll go through and kill the tree.
Okay.
So just let them dry out, then you can treat them with, you know, lime sulphur, what you want. So drying out generally around about sort of 3 months at least. And then put what you want on, or depends on what you want on the tree, you can just leave it natural. If you treat them white, you're going to get a real harsh sort of effect to your tree. If you want, you know, say you're going for a coastal look. If you're not going for a coastal look, more of just an inland look, just leave them natural as well. And just let them age up and blend with the tree. So that's still working for me. We'll just make it a little bit smaller. Remember, we're just doing less on here. Did I get him? I'll try. You can try and tee him up here. Well, I'll get Val while she's on the phone and she won't see it coming.
What do you want?
Nothing. Just carry on.
I'm actually going to write down what you just said about waiting 3 months to like something.
Right, okay then.
I'm into the memo.
You covered yourself there. Covered yourself well there. So that's just, yeah. Oh, I did not believe you. That's there. So just a little subtle. We don't really need to gin that one. I think that's just going to sit nicely as is. all we need to do is just tweak this branch here because this is coming down just a little bit too much. And since you've got some nice wire on there, I can just kick it up at that point. You wired this little apex up through here, so we'll just take that. It's going to grow and fill in the back of our tree. That sort of sits there. We'll just emphasise it up just a little bit more. That there, that's fine there, that's fine there. If we come up through there, and you can just sit and they just sort of can do wire and they'll even sit in your hand as well. You get the hang of it. Just got to watch the points there, it's sharp. Sits there, that one underneath we don't want. I could just keep tweaking and applying these for another half hour or more or not, but I won't. I think. Okay, we want a front, don't you? I think our front's pretty right actually, where it is at the moment. If you bring that round a little, we've got one in through there, not through there, not through there. I reckon still looking all right and through that one there. That's just sort of sitting and coming there. A lot more on there. So once this grows, it's going to have a whole top of the tree. So we'll just let that sit for a minute. So you just hang there a little bit, and I say to you, take a breather. We'll come back to that. How did we go in here? What was I getting you to do here? We'll just trim this off. I'll just trim that one down through to there. Okay. That's not too bad. Something about that speaking to me as well. It's a sort of the back as the front sort of thing as well. That really sort of works. It's just the apex I could bring it up, but I think we'll leave it. It's just nice. Or you could bend that down. What I'm sort of liking is that back as an apex, but this coming towards us. So I could quite easily just bend that down and create a bigger sort of apex out of the tree as well. But I sort of want, for now, I want to sort of get some height to the tree. I think it's just leaning back just a little bit. So we'll chop it up. You can get a couple of small chocks out of our chock box. Thank you. And we'll sort of chock this up, and I think that's sort of working nice, just sort of flattishy type ones, yeah. Yeah, that'll, there we go. There, that's it. So we'll just change an angle on this one just a little. Only subtle. Amazing when I'm, that's what we're looking for. Amazing when I'm teaching sort of the introductions to the classes and I sort of tell them that we're using wire and we're going 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5 mil. They said, what, millimetres? I said, yeah, but you're going up in 0.5 millimetre sizes just before they get to actually start working on trees and things. I said, yeah, it makes a massive, who's got them? Who's got them? Someone's got them. Oh, I tell you. Makes a massive amount of difference. That just at 0.5 millimetre, and that's only a small amount, but that 0.5 millimetre in wiring's huge. And having 1 or 2 degrees in the angle of a tree is a massive amount as well. It makes all the difference. It's people say, oh, it's a lovely tree, and some sort of wise expert will come along and say, hey, it's a nicer tree, but 1, 2 degrees, and you go, oh, that's why they're the expert as well. And it happens often. So that, just standing that up, well, it's just sort of brought it up as a bit more sort of a proud sort of tree as well. So that one's sort of hanging around a little bit as well. So you can just have a little bit of a breather. Don't run away too far, and we'll see what's happening down there. Now we're looking at this. Isn't that looking good? Right. Okay, one to go. What's happening? Oh, you've wired the gin into there. Right. In, sitting. Come on, you can do it. In there. Ooh. That's going around to the back. That is giving us the volume for there. That's pretty good. I just sort of step down at a bit of an eye line. I've got these 2 branches, 3 branches in a row sort of through here that's annoying me. I'm just trying to make it a bit of a decision. Which one of the 3 we're going to eliminate? We've got a branch here, down here. This one's almost hiding, and I love a little sort of gorgeous little one at the back there. This is giving us a bit of depth back there to match in with that one. So I'm inclined to think, as a 1, 2, 3, top one, I was always going to say the middle one, because we can bring the top one down to where the middle one is, and it's given us that more of a droop. If I take this branch down anymore, it's going to hide this little one up the back here. So generally the theory is when you've got 1, 2, 3 branches like that, is when pruning, I teach this in general pruning practice, you've got sort of 3 branches sitting there. You want to open an area up. If you take an outside one off, you haven't really opened the area up. Take this one off, you haven't. Generally, as soon as you take the middle one out, you've opened an area up. So when you've got 1, 2, 3, the general theory is, what am I going to do? I'm not sure. Look at just taking the middle one out, and that's going to open an area up for you as well. I want to emphasise this branch here. This one's sort of blocking my sort of view a bit as well. I can bring this one down to that sort of area there. This one's sort of sweeping away. So it's that middle one that keeps annoying me, but this is hiding it, so I'm going to break the rule and we're going to take the bottom one out and bring this down, but we're going to follow the trunk line down a lot more to where this gin is. And then down and kick it out through there. Then we can kick that to the back a bit more. That there. Then we can just close this little branch up back here a little bit more to give us a bit more depth. That way. And then that way. Rotate it. Still got my ginning pliers, but I've been fighting 3 other guys with my ginning pliers all night. Each one of them have had a go at trying to pinch them. One stage I found a black pair in my pocket. Well, that was pretty cunning. Hang on.
The knife's not ours.
Yeah, no, obviously not. Okay, so that sort of brought it down, so I'm still seeing this back there and emphasising our size to the tree. You said, where's the apex of the tree? You're all looking for a live apex on the tree. Remember, we've gone from a 300-year-old tree to a 500-year-old tree. So the apex, over time, 200 years from now, I might actually be a little bit thinner on top than I am at the moment. So this one is thinner on top. So the apex is actually this whole gin area. This is the apex of our tree. It's a ginned apex of the tree. At 500 years old, a lot of trees aren't growing sort of taller. A lot of trees have hit their maximum height. So they're just sitting there, they're aging, they're thinning a little bit more on top as well. So this is evolving into our tree. So this is our apex. So all we've got to do is style up the apex of the tree. We could do it if need be with wiring, but I'm not wiring it down as drop branches. I'm trying to emphasise that this was a bigger, lusher sort of tree, like what some of this was, a bigger, lusher canopy of a tree, but it's not anymore because it's been just been aged up. So we just still want to bring our bit of artistic styling into the tree as well. So we've got this real long branch sort of heading way over that way, which is a little bit too long artistically for the tree. So I'll just shorten it down because it's got a little style up that there. Shorten these down. I'll still try spinning it round so I can go from back to front. Sometimes I can work backwards, and other times you've got to work the right way around, especially when we're refining a tree as well. This one here is very straight, hiding something that's got a lot of movement at the back. So we'll do it by just reducing it down a little bit. This has got movement and little branches on there, so they're giving us some sort of interest to the tree as well. So it's just doing subtle things. This is actually following the line of the tree. This one here, it's just sort of dead straight. I'm just sort of trying to keep the gins that have got movement. I could sort of wire all these as well, but hey, let's sort of try and sort of simplify our life because we've got another tree we want to get onto or another pot we're going to go make or we've got to go cook dinner as well. So we'll just sort of simplify it down and we're moving. And to me, that's starting to show there was a branch sort of back here, there's a branch back here, flowing like this was. It was an older tree weeping down. The apex was up here, it's disappeared, so it slowly thinned itself down. This one here is just the last one that's annoying me just a little because we've got the two here, they're going in a similar sort of direction. So I just want to reduce this one down just a little bit, probably just into there. You could quite easily wire that one down. But as soon as I wire it down, it looks too much like this branch. So I'm happy to leave it up as a sort of compound. I'll just shorten that one down a bit. And I don't even want to shorten it. This little wispy one up through here, I think it's really quite cute. I'd rather let it sort of erode away by itself as well. This one flowing through here, that just needs to be shortened a bit as well. We've almost got a couple of branches in here too many. This is a little bit full. I almost think that we could almost, nah, we'll leave it. I'll just change this one around to the back a little bit. as well. Our front general area is still in that sort of neck of the woods, so remember trying to hide this sort of work as well. Just trying to tidy those up as well. We'll move that down out of the way. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to have one quick walk to the back and have a look from a distance before I confirm anything or cut anything more off. Sometimes you've got to sort of step back and have a bit of a look back from back here. Yeah, okay, I can see what needs to be adjusted on that one. And that one needs to go there. Yeah, even Michael's probably does as well. They're all pretty good. There's just one branch on each of them that doesn't sort of quite work. So always learn to sort of step back from your trees when you're getting towards that final bit and seeing how it comes together as well. This one's just looked a bit too much. I just want to turn this one back there, then down there. Emphasise it back a little bit. The one on this one was this big branch here. I think it just comes too much forward. We've got this one. So I just want to take it down a whisker and bring it back a whisker just to make it look a little bit smaller. But I'm trying to have a lot of foliage on this tree as well. That's going to sit a little bit better through there. Yeah, that's better. It's going back a bit. This just needs to be rotated. Oh, look, someone's jitting flies. I might try and pinch them. That's why I carry my own. I just feel weird using someone else's. A bit like trying to bowl with someone else's bowls. Where's Ted gone? That was my excuse today for Ted. What was yours? You're saving yourself for tomorrow's final instead of today's bowls? Yeah, so today was just a warm-up, telling yourself what not to do with the bowls today?
I was watching you.
Oh, right. That's it. And learning?
Yeah, I think you were given left-handed bowls by mistake.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, what happens on the bowling green stays on the bowling green when it comes to left-handed bowls. I was just showing that I can do it left-handed, and yeah. Okay, just because I didn't put money in the jar. Yeah, that sort of worked that one just that little bit better. Which one was it on here? Which branch on here was out? I think it was this one. Yeah, it just needs a little tweak. You can have them back. Yeah, it just didn't do it for me. Bit like my left-handed bowl today didn't quite do it for me either. So just in a bit as well. We do that in the bowling green as well. We all say, guys, no one to get sore backs like this. Around, come on, and it doesn't. Gust of wind got it. That's what it was. Slipped out of my hand. Yeah, that's a bit better. I'm not going to get time to do that other tree because you all got to go home and they've closed the bar. Sorry, gents. 3 trees, very similar. 3 sort of rather sort of different sort of stylings of the tree. To me, penjing, very sweeping, long, graceful, lots sort of dead stuff in there, the older sort of tree. I can still thin this tree out a little bit more once it grows and starts to evolve. The tree is not finished. Pads have got to sort of fill in to the tree as well. And then I may thin pads out or re-sort of style the tree. This is just the first general sort of styling of the tree, and that one sort of works for me with it. Real drop branches, that sort of an age. This one, to me, it's a lot more bonsai-like in its styling. A lot more branching on the tree, a lot more upright in the tree. The idea is to have these pads to fill in. There's quite big pads on the tree and just not weeping down as much of the tree as well. And just a nice traditional little back branch here. Where these guys are here, got these big long sweeping back branches. So it's like the sort of the geisha girl, this big long sort of dress happening down at the back as well. There's more going on at the back of the tree. This one is a bit of a sort of combination of the both. Some bigger drop sort of branches, some pads, but still sort of thinnish on the tree as well. But we sort of couldn't do as much to hide the sort of little sort of fault in this here as well. But we've got a nice little interesting gin. You could quite easily do some sort of shari work on this tree to get it working as well. But it's got some sort of interest. Something's happening with this tree at the back of the tree. It's telling me that, you know, something could be restyled in this tree. So as it sort of evolves and grows, you could quite easily have the back as the front within the tree as well. But it still works as a nice tree. Thanks guys for all your work. Excellent with it. I hope you've got sort of something out of all that now. We can pop these trees back in the pots, but not just yet, then we'll do some photos. Thanks to the Bonsai Northwest for actually having me in. I've sort of really enjoyed the sort of past couple of days, and I hope I've sort of got you thinking a lot about sort of different things and different sort of ventures in the sort of styling. I put a fair bit of work in with using rocks and things into the workshop yesterday, and that's a real sort of passion I have with penjing, where you bring in rocks rather than this is more just tree penjing. I like to create a scene. Bonsais are planting a tray. With penjing, it's a scene within a tray. That's why the sort of penjing, we've got more of a scene happening, more something going on, you know. This is more our 2-year-old child really creating a scene about things as well, but it happens to be 500.
That middle tree,
Yep.
at the top there, it's got a very straight composed direction.
This one here? Yeah, it needs probably just a little bit of a and a yeah. It's sort of, you keep working and tweaking it with a sort of time factor. You've got to think it's sort of probably it needs to probably even be planted back, just that sort of whisker and the angle, playing with the angles a bit as well. You know, that could quite easily come back on that tree. Whoop, needs to. Excuse me. That sort of helps a little bit as well. It's just that you do a certain amount at a certain time, and then you've got to let the tree evolve, grow, and continue with the tree and let it pad up. Say, oh, we need a bit more bending in there and move there. We need to change that branch there as well. Sort of bonsai. It's hard to say, do a bonsai, there it is, it's done, it's finished. The only finished bonsai is a dead bonsai. But then it's not finished, because then you can use that dead tree and put it to your forest, like Irene sort of did yesterday, putting lots of dead trees in the forest instead of buying trees as well. You can do it that as well. So even when it's dead, it's still not finished. A lot of my dead trees I've covered with clear lacquer, mounted them on stand. My wife uses them as jewellery stands to count jewellery on, so it's still looking at them as well. You can still always do something with a dead tree. But that's about all I sort of can do today. We'll let you go. So thanks for sort of having me.
Thanks, Shane. Thanks again.
Yeah.